All right, welcome back to Whiskey Wisdom. I'm your host, AMFT, and today we have Kevin on the podcast, our very first Colombian on the pod. Thank you, Kevin, for joining us
Of
today.
course, brother. Thank you for having me,
Love
man.
it, love it. All right, so quick premise for everyone who hasn't seen the show before. We're going to spend first portion of the show playing some drinking games. Today we have Truth or Drink on the Rocks deck. So we'll be having a good time with those questions there as we break into some whiskey. Now, the purpose of the whiskey is to get a little bit of liquid wisdom in us before we jump into your questions. Today, they're coming from the Ask Reddit. Kevin, what are you thinking?
I'm ready, brother.
Let's get it. Alrighty, I'll pop
Pour it
this
up.
open.
Pour
You
it
want to
up.
bring up that first card?
This one, right?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's see. Tell us about a time you lied to your parents. Did they ever find out? I feel like I lied to my parents a lot, man. Like, come on, dude.
What's the best one? What's the best one?
Oh, you get to pick. Oh,
Tell the story. Yeah, you can
okay.
pick one or two. One or two.
Oh, this should be a good one. Tell us about a time you were shot down romantically.
Ooh, man, which one to pick from, man? Which one to pick from?
That should be a good one.
Man, which one comes from? I mean, we all have those drunk nights out, where
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
spit some game. Maybe you've had too many, and maybe they're out of your league. Who knows? Trying to think of a good one though. I've got I've got a pretty funny one. I was on a camping trip with a few friends and a few friends, mutual friends I hadn't met before, and we had broken into some whiskey that night around the campfire. Was feeling pretty good, and I was supposed to be tenting with a couple of friends.
Okay.
And I decided to try and make a move into the mutual friend tent, if you will. And so, as
So we'll call it the mutual friend.
as I leave the campfire, there was just one chica left. Though, when I was trying to see what was up with, and then my line as I go to the tent area is, "You know where I'll be." And walk off to the tent, expecting her to follow.
Jesus.
Did not follow. Definitely left the tent flap open for about 30
Tried to do
minutes.
the turn and burn on her ass.
Did not work. Did not work that time around. What about you? What you got?
Shit. And it's been so long since I got turned down, man. Well, it's like I told you, I've never actually. I mean, I've been single, but never for a long period of time.
Right.
You know. Honestly, man, I couldn't really tell you. If I was to guess, it'd just be like at a drunk night out at a club. You try to hit up on that chick, and she just don't fuck with you.
That's
So,
fair.
At the end of the day, it's getting shot down is getting shot down, man. Doesn't matter where it happens. So
That is true. At least never had a drink thrown in the face. That would be the epitome of failure.
that or slapped.
Yeah.
Like
You'd have
you
to say
disrespect them or
yeah.
something.
You gotta say some out of pocket shit.
Yeah, definitely not, bro. So gotta be grateful for that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Do you think I care more or less about my reputation than most people?
I think you care a lot about your reputation.
Yeah, I'd agree.
A lot more than most people. To a certain sense, though. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? I think if it came down to where you needed to do something unmoral or immoral, how the fuck you say it, for somebody that you love, I don't think at that point you'd really care about how people saw you, But for the most part, yeah, I mean, I think all of us should care as far as reputation goes, at least have somewhat of professionalism towards you and respect, and I think that's important to have, man.
For sure.
Otherwise, you just get a society full of fucking
Exactly. I was about to
people
say.
who don't give a fuck, like those people that cut you off on the freeway.
Yeah.
Those are the people that don't give a fuck. And so.
Yeah, that's true. And there is a fine line, right, between, like people being walked over because they just want to please too many people,
Right.
and then being considerate of people as well.
Yeah.
But I think reputation though comes into play a lot. I think my opinion of you, I feel like you do care about yours, but at a lesser degree than most, because you're already pretty set in what you're going to say and do and what your kind of like pillars of success are.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to bend those for other people, regardless of how they feel about it one way or another.
That's true.
But you are cognizant and like considerate of people as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you're
we'll
in
just
that
walk
space.
up to some person and call him a fucking bitch. You know?
I mean, you might.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
I may or may not have seen that happen before.
Depends how the night's going. All right. I mean, with this whiskey's actually pretty.
Dude, it's
fucking
amazing,
good, man. Yeah.
Shout out to Oregon,
Yeah.
Pendleton whiskey.
To Oregon. Yeah.
This guy. All right, your pull.
All right. Let's see what we got. This one kind of sucks. Can I change it?
No.
Damn. All right. What's an offense you've committed that could get you fired from work?
I mean, done a lot of legal stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, we don't have to talk about current situation. We could talk about past, when we were younger.
Let's not.
We were all young once, and these days we're on the straight and narrow. But what's something in the past maybe that could have gone south?
Bro. God damn. I don't know. I mean, you could probably edit this out, but there was one time when I was working at and I had to go to help train their office. And this chick that was there, we had met prior at one of the conferences. But I don't know, I just never ended up getting her number or nothing like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of was pretty wasted that night.
Sure.
But she wanted it. So when I showed up, she like the first person she asked for was like, "Where's Kevin?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And bro, she was hot. Like, hot, man, smoking. Well, anyways, so I think I was out there for like a week. I was with
All right.
and I told because he was running the office out there, and I told him, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to hook up with this chick, like,
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to. There's no option.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. He's like, nah, you can't. At the time she had a boyfriend too, and the boyfriend was
Classic.
their roommate, because they lived together. So, anyways, so I didn't listen to the best judgment, or I guess pursue the best route there. But
let the dick take control.
Pretty much. So yeah, after all that, man, I think it was the last day. And she wanted me really bad because she came up with this elaborate story as to find a way to break up with her boyfriend on that same spot, pack her bag, pack my bag, throw that shit in her BMW, and then drive off to get us a hotel room. The next day, we pretty much stayed up all night doing it. The next day, we were trying to call off work, and I'm there to train their office.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. I think I'll just meet you guys at the airport or something. Bro, he gets pissed. He's like, bro, how the fuck are you doing this right now? Like, he just goes off. And I'm like, no, man, you're right. All
yeah.
Right. So we get ready and shit. And, we go to the office. Before I walk into the office, she's like, hold on. So to the right, as you're walking into the hallway, because you walk in, make a left, and their office is right there. There's an office right here before you make the left that they're working on, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's all broken down, like drywall's all over the fucking floor and shit.
Renovation.
She pulls me in there, opens the door, pulls me in there. Bro, she sucks me off while I'm in, like, just at the office is like right there, and she's sucking me off, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just standing there like, God damn, like, this shit really fucking happening right now. Bro, and then all I feel, because my pants are kind of like lowered a little bit, or my phone is buzzing. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Calling me, was fucking calling me, was fucking calling me.
Oh, man.
Like, everybody's calling me while this chick's just fucking blowing me in the same office space area, bro. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
That is savage. Okay. That's pretty unbeatable, man. I'm not sure I have anything close to that story.
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
I could have definitely got fired for that.
I guess one thing that happened to me while it was at a work party. We went to a few different spots. Went to the casino, cigar lounge. Went to a club kind of thing. And by that point, the company was no longer a part of the outing. After the first
Right.
place. So, but I was out with a bunch of coworkers. We were doing it was a leadership kind of situation. Had a few too many drinks. Hopped in the car, hopped in the whip, hopped in the whip, heading to another bar, ironically enough, and got the little whoop whoop,
Oh shit!
and sure enough, got the Dewey #1, the old DUI.
Oh, that was
that was the night, man.
Yeah.
That was the night.
Dude,
So, yeah, that was
DUIs are not fun, man.
no, dude. It's such a waste of money, man. It's such a waste of money.
Dude, DUIs,
Yeah.
they fucking suck.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, no good.
How much
Yeah.
did you spend on your DUI?
I mean, lawyer was about $4K flat, and then with all the fees and like having to pay for the towing, like everything that's included in that,
Yeah.
probably around 11. Yeah.
Did I ever tell you my DUI story?
Yep, but let's hear it.
All right. So this is in 2014. I was 19 at the time. It was before I had moved to California.
Yeah.
But I had gone to a house party, right? And one of the chick that I was with at the time wanted me to go pick up another chick, right? Because, and the chick that I was with at the time was kind of like, what do they say nowadays? Bi-curious, whatever.
Bisexual.
Yeah. So obviously me, I'm fucking with that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I like that. All right, cool. I'm like, let's go. But she didn't want to go. She just wanted me to go pick her up. I was like, I don't mind, whatever. So me and my boy at the time, we go. At the time, I'm driving a Trailblazer SS, 2004 Trailblazer
I remember
SS.
that. I remember that car.
And I pull up to the light, and then, we're bumping and shit, like, going to pick up this chick. And then this little Honda Civic, bro, loud as fuck, not even fast, bro, just loud as fuck, just starts fucking revving.
The old racer.
I'm like, and I look at my boy, I'm like, yo, should I race him? He's like, yeah, fuck it. And bro, that light turned green, I took off, dude. I was going like 115 on a 45. And at the time, the road, it was only one this way and one this way. That was it, you know? So I'm over here fucking going into both lanes, whatever the fuck. And then I get into the community where the chick lived. I hit the roundabout, I get to the stop sign, and then I look at my rearview mirror and I see some cop lights. But they were so faint. It wasn't like bright, it was faint. So I thought it was just like a camera, like one of those camera cops. Yeah, the stupid shit that they put up, right? To make it seem like there's a cop there. So that's what I thought it was. So I stopped 1, 2, 3, and I fucking peeled it. Hit the right, made the left, pulled up right in front of her house, bro. My window's still down. I shut the car off just in case it was an actual cop, And then I'm about to get out, bro. The car's all dark and shit. No lights are on. I'm about to get out. This motherfucker pulls up next to me. Put your fucking hands out the window. He's aiming his gun, bro. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? I'm like, there's no way. Like, why would he be aiming his gun at me?
Yeah.
Like, if I was just speeding around the roundabout, you don't need to put your gun on me,
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, And then, like, he puts me in handcuffs. He puts my boy in handcuffs. We sit down. I look at his bike, and it's like fucked up, dude. It's like crashed or something, leaking oil. The lights are not working, and I'm drunk as fuck, bro. I'm so drunk, and I tell the cop, I'm like, yo, there's something wrong with your bike. Bro, he gets in my face. He's like, yeah, I fucking crashed because of you. Bro, and I'm like, oh, what? Like, what the fuck? He's like, I've been chasing you for the past fucking 15 minutes. I was like, no fucking way, bro. Like, and then, like, at no point in my whole, like, while I was racing the Honda, did I ever see any cop lights, any sound of a cop. So I get the DUI, right? I think I blew a .145 or something like that.
Ooh, I got you 1.6.
I was still fucking, I was lit. And I have the court. Luckily, at the time, I was in the Army still, so they provided me with a military lawyer. So that's awesome. But when I read the police report, he put in there that he was already behind me 300 to 400 yards, chasing me from the moment when I started racing the Honda Civic.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm over here just cruising like nothing's fucking going on, bro.
At 115.
I swear to God, bro. Yeah. So that fucker got me for 3 counts of DUI because my dumbass let them fucking pull my blood.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then did the breathalyzer and then the stupid walk test.
Oh, yeah.
3 counts of DUI. That's what they wanted to get me with. Criminal speeding and reckless driving. They also wanted to get me with, and they wanted me to pay for that fucker's bike. So,
oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah. So all in all, they I was about to pay like almost like 50 grand, bro.
Jeez.
Yeah. But the lawyer did such a good fucking job, bro. I literally did not have to do probation at all. I did unsupervised probation, bro. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to get a breathalyzer.
Damn.
That's like the sweetest shit ever.
That was terrible, yeah.
And I only had to pay $3,500.
What a story. What a story. And we both learned our lesson, eh?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
This time around, man, I mean, you just at some point you get too old to be drinking.
Yeah.
You know?
After doing the math, just take a lift. Like
even if it's $100 lift, bro, like
it adds up, but it's not worth the DUI, man. For sure.
Or just don't go out as much. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, drink it at home with the homies.
If you can't afford it, don't do it.
That's true. Good point. All right. Let's see. All right. What's something you think people should appreciate more about you?
About me?
Yeah.
Dude, my uncunning French, like brotherhood friendship.
Uncunning?
Is that the word? Uncunning? Like
what
without fault?
No.
Like piercing?
No, I don't know what you're trying to say.
Okay.
But like unwavering, I feel like is what you're looking for.
There you go. Take the words right out of my mouth. That's good. There you go. The unwavering brotherhood friendship that I provide to my bros, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't really have friends that are chicks. I honestly believe that a man cannot be friends with a woman unless they're like, trying to fuck. In that sense. But if it's like my brother's wife or girlfriend or something, then yes, I'm their friend.
Sure,
right?
sure.
So that's different. That's moral grounds right there. That's sacred. You don't fuck with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it's me, like I go out and I meet a chick and I just want her to be my friend. What the fuck am I got all the friends that I fucking need. I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't, and not to say anything against women or anything, but I don't really think that there's anything a friendship with a chick possibly provide for me. So yeah, a beneficial value.
Sure, from what you already have now.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I think my unwavering friendship, like I'm that friend that like gives it all. You know what I mean? Like,
agreed.
You need some shit, I'm there. Right?
Yeah.
Some shit's going down, I'm there. Right?
Regardless of the time, regardless of the place.
It sucks. I hate it. I don't want to do it, but that's my fucking brother right there. I will be there.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't appreciate that until they realize it's gone. Right? And that's one thing that I wish people would appreciate more, man. You know. And the one thing that I've started to do is I've started to remove people from my life. And I tell them straight up, like, maybe right now you're not ready for this type of friendship that I'm ready to have or the way that I am. I don't think, I should be investing more time into you, but once you are ready, let me know, and then we can go ahead and continue our friendship.
Yeah.
And I think that's really been helping me out a lot.
I can definitely attest to that. And then one thing I'm going to say for myself that I can also say for you too, it kind of goes hand in hand, is like being able to just tell it how it is, not sugarcoat stuff. And it's like at the end of the day, you need people in your life like that who aren't going to be sugarcoating things, who are going to be like telling you what it is, how it is, and what to do next. Even though you don't want to hear it, you got to have that in your life, you know? So
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that both of us kind of bring to the table. A lot of times people don't really appreciate in the moment, especially when they're hearing what's going on.
Yeah, nobody likes the truth, man.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's
No,
that.
I feel that, and I feel like you provide that to me, as vice versa as I provide that a lot to you as well. You know, we've had those instances, right? I mean, we're brothers. We argue, we discuss shit, right? But there's been those times, where you've told me my shit too, and where I'm lacking and where I'm fucking up, and even though I didn't like it, I knew.
And because you never hear it from anyone else.
I know. I had to hear it, So, and I accept that. You know, my girl would do the same thing too, and my girl is a great woman, right? Yeah. But she'll tell me sometimes how it is when I'm fucking up, when I'm doing too much or something.
Yeah.
At the moment, yes, it'll piss me the fuck off because I feel like I'm being nagged at.
Sure.
But after I have some time to process and think about it, I own up to it. I tell her, I'm sorry. I know that I've, been doing this and I'll stop, or, I've been liking this. I'll do better.
Right.
So, yeah,
For
it's
sure.
tough.
It
tough,
is.
But you need it, man. That's how the fuck else are you going to get better,
Yeah. You have to have that constructive criticism to get anywhere in life, whether it's a career, whether it's life, everything. You have to be able to accept that.
Bro.
And when you can't, then you're not going to be improving, you're not going to be growing, and you're going to become stagnant.
Damn right, stagnant.
Yes, sir.
My turn?
Your pull.
All right, let's see. Yeah, let's not do that one. I'm gonna read the question just so you hear why I chose not to read this question.
I got you.
Because for you guys that don't know, this game there's part A and part B, so you get to pick the best question. But the second question, it says, if you had to eat one delectable part of my delicious body,
this fucking guy.
What part would you choose?
Fucking terrible. Fucking terrible.
Anyways, yeah, I didn't pick that one. But what are you anxious about? Can we reassure you?
Ooh, that's a solid question, actually.
Let's hear it.
I mean, I don't know if anxious is the right word, because I feel like anxiety these days is so overblown for what people say. Because I don't go to bed worrying about this. You know what I mean? But it is something that's on my mind, and is there going to be the right partner out there at some point? And I know at the end of the day, there is somewhere. Yeah. And I have to be the one to make the right sacrifices for that to happen. And I want to do that, but it's just right now, especially the culture that we have in the U.S., it's just so hard to believe that that's attainable. But that's why, it's good to see positive examples of successful relationships and things. But then at the same time, when I see difficulty, I'm like, man, I'm just glad I don't have that at the same time. So it's one of those tough things where, you're sacrificing one part for the growth and the improvement of life in another sense. So I just gotta get over that hump, because being single for quite a while now, life's treated me pretty well. So
yeah, I mean, I think we were made to have a partner, a spiritual partner, right? Someone like an intimate partner per se. Because there's different types of partners. I guess one fear for me, I don't know if it ties back to what I was telling you earlier, that I've never actually been single. If I have maybe an anxiousness towards being alone, but even it's kind of like a double-sided thing, because if I think about it, I also don't mind being alone. I just think I think for me, the scenario was I never was opposed to an opportunity presenting itself to me. And it just so happened that every time I was out of one situation and a new opportunity presented itself to myself, whether it's a month from that moment, a week from that moment, it could vary. Right? Yeah. I think in your scenario, your opportunity hasn't presented itself yet. You know what I mean? Because I know you asked me last time. Well, you didn't ask me. You sent me a video, but I told you, I was like, she's out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's out there. But I'll tell you this, man. You can find the perfect girl in the world.
Yeah.
But if you think that it's gonna be roses and fairy dust
Right.
and all happiness at all times, it's not, man. There's gonna be arguments. It's a given, right? It's just about what expectations you set in that initial relationship, and then how you progress yourself forward in that relationship as
Right.
well. So
Right.
whatever you tolerate is what you're gonna get. So,
I
but
get you.
other than that, I mean, getting nagged at and shit, that's just gonna happen regardless. I mean, you can fucking blink, you could
Yeah.
be breathing and all of a sudden there's a fucking problem, you know?
Yeah, I feel you. And for what you mentioned, you mentioned the loneliness aspect that you feel every once in a while, man. And like, you've talked about that. It took a while, I think, for you to open up about that as well. So I appreciate you opening up about that piece. And also two, just always know you're not alone. Like whenever you have that feeling, you've got a great network of people.
Yeah,
And that's
of
something I
course.
think that you didn't have in the past per se, as far as like a
Yeah,
network of people that you could trust and count on.
yeah,
But know that we got you, man. And yeah, I mean, you're building a
yeah.
great life, great family. Keep doing you.
No, absolutely, man. And again, I don't feel alone now. But in instances like where I have broken up with like a partner or something,
Yeah.
the thought would cross my mind like, fuck, like now what if I'm just by myself now, or I
Yeah.
don't need somebody else, you know? So I think it was only at those moments. But now well, first of all, I honestly don't really believe in anxiety. But
Sure.
don't kill me. Yeah. I think it's just a mental thing, man. And I think both you and I were put in luckily, and thank God for this, we were put in a position where we were both able to increase our mental stability, right, in the way we think and our type of mentality that we have. And I think we got that through the business.
Yeah. Learning to overcome it rather than just succumbing
Right.
to it, because
Right.
that feeling is there for everyone,
Of
I
course.
think. But how you react to it really impacts your perception of quote unquote anxiety, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
for at least for me, when I have that feeling of like uneasiness or unsureness, how do I handle it? Okay, let's break it down. What can I control? What can I not control?
Yep.
And let's focus on what the controllables are. And
Absolutely.
if I can't control it, then I shouldn't let that impact my mentality, because at the end of the day, 5 years, 5 months, maybe even 5 days from now, is that really going to impact my life? If it's not, then why am I letting it stress me out in the moment? You know, so
Absolutely.
breaking it down that way, I think would help a lot of people that are struggling with that when they feel overwhelmed and they just want to lie in bed. That's not the way to do it.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. I mean, if you're just constantly feeding yourself that, or feeding yourself that fear, that's the type of life that you're gonna live. So
Yeah.
it's not about like forgetting about it, but it's literally about like standing up to it,
Right.
and acknowledging what the problem is, and then kind of, going out there and providing solutions for yourself.
And not taking shortcuts while doing so.
Yeah, and that also, and another thing, relationship advice, by the way. So that also kind of causes us, because we're more, how you say, factual people, right? Like, so men
Logical.
aren't really like the emotional type, right? So if we're gonna argue something, we're gonna argue factual shit, right? Like real shit. That's kind of what we do. But women aren't like that, and that's okay, right? That's what being a woman is. I mean, that's part of the feminism side of things, right? Like a woman is okay; she should be allowed to be a woman.
Nurturer and care.
Yeah, nurturing, emotional, caring, so
Very
on and so
important.
forth, right?
Have to have it.
The biggest downside to that type of mentality is knowing when and when not to do that,
Yeah.
right? Because for me, I'm the person, like, if my girl comes to me with a problem, here's the fucking solution.
They don't
Here's
want
the
it.
solution. Yeah,
They
want
want
to
to be heard. They want to be
just,
heard.
yep, they just want to be cuddled, held, nurtured,
Yeah.
And that was one of my biggest hurdles, bro. Honestly, like it was one of the things that was really affecting our relationship. Was I just, and and I was so thick headed that I was like, like, no, like why the fuck am I just gonna listen to you tell me about your problem when I have a solution for you right here?
Yeah.
And I think that's something to know as well, right? So it's good to have that mentality, but it's also good to know when to use it and when not to use it, man.
Agreed.
Yeah. What's yours, man?
For sure.
This whiskey is delicious.
I know. I'm already on my second glass, man.
Cheers, brother.
Salud. Boom. All right. Let's see. All right, this is my pull, yeah.
I believe so.
Let's see. If I listed you as my job reference, what would you say about me? And would it all be true?
It depends on what job you're applying for. If you're applying for a male stripper, I'd be like, that's the sexiest motherfucker right
there. just ignore the whiskey belly.
The whiskey belly doesn't compare with the schlong that's hanging down.
Oh, shit.
I mean, you know me, bro. I'm a fucking salesman, bro.
Yeah.
You need a job reference, like, to get you a job at, like, fucking IBM or the government. Like, I could sell those motherfuckers. If they call me and they're trying to get your qualifications and shit,
yeah,
you know me. I could sell that shit. Right?
For sure.
But yeah, man. I mean, what would I say about you? Well, number one, it's the three things that tie back to myself, too. It's work ethic, right? Work ethic, honestly, you know, and I know there's a lot of double, controversial thoughts, but work ethic does earn you a lot, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Outworking people, it's the same shit like in a race, man. You know, if somebody's jogging half-ass versus somebody who's, jogging but at a dedicated pace to win, there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference, and there's a huge gap that you're going to gain from that person that's right here. So
right.
Work ethic is one of them. Integrity, man. That's one of the biggest things that you can't really find in people today,
Yeah.
And even us right now, I told you we just opened up a business, Apex Detailing.
Yeah.
But when hiring people, it's just one of those things that you're looking for is integrity, right? Can I trust somebody to take the company vehicle and not, drink and drive or try to steal it or try to use the gas card for their own fucking car instead of you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's one of those things that you're really looking to find, right? Because it's rare. And the last thing is likability, man. At the end of the day, man, if all else fails, if your skills fails, if your work ethic fails, right? Like, because everybody gets moments of complacency and shit.
Sure.
As long as somebody likes you, like is actually enjoyed they find enjoyment to have you around. That kind of supersedes everything, man.
Yeah.
You could have work ethic and integrity, but if you're a fucking douche, bro, like.
You'll be first out the door if you're there.
It's not even that you didn't work or put in the work, right? If you literally are a dick and I don't fucking like you, like you're making me not like you, like why the fuck am I gonna have you around? You could be the best fucking worker ever, but if every time I talk to you, you disrespect me or something, why am I gonna have you around?
Yeah.
So I think those three things is always, if I tie myself to that, right, like that's kind of like what I'm instilled like in my DNA. That's the same thing that I'm going to describe about my brother. So my brother's calling for a fucking work reference. I'm going to describe who I am as a person because I know he is the same thing.
Right. So. For sure. And for you, if you're applying to a job and put me as a reference, I mean, same situation, right? Like I know you're going to be you're going to push for the highest sales, and then you're going to want to try and replicate that with people. And make it more than just yourself, but also help the rest of the company as well.
Right.
So, and I mean, all of that, what you're just talking about, work ethic, everything goes into that.
Absolutely.
Into being that kind of a person that you want for a company. So that's what I'd say. Yeah. And it would be true.
and you also can't teach those things either.
Yeah, that's the tough part.
Man, I've hired so many people.
People management is tough.
And there's been some people, man, that like were good on the interview.
Yeah.
But then you train them and get to know them, you spend more time with them, they're just like who the fuck? Like I can't, you know what I mean? Like robots, right? Especially when you're trying to teach somebody how to do sales and then they just walk up like, hello, how are you doing today? It's like you need to be more likable, bro. You need to be more like somebody, you need to be the person that people want to talk to. And you can't fucking teach that, bro.
Yeah. That's the tough part about teaching sales. It's like you can't just give someone like a word for word script and it's gonna work every time. Like give them the structure of how to close a deal.
Yeah.
And then let their personality be what closes that deal.
Right. I mean, it's kind of establishing the foundation of things. Yeah.
Exactly. Alrighty, well, we are halfway through here and moving on to the next section. Before we do have a sponsor today. Our sponsor is Curated Styles. And we have a little ad read from our friends at Curated Styles. Here we are. Are you a discerning gentleman with an insatiable appetite for the finer things in life? Welcome to Curated Styles, your gateway to a world of sophistication and exclusivity. At Curated Styles, we've made it our mission to bring you a curated selection of exclusive products that match your impeccable taste, from timeless accessories and handcrafted goods to limited edition fashion items. Each month, we present you with a thoughtfully chosen collection of items that define refinement. We understand that your style is a reflection of your unique character. That's why our selections are as diverse as your tastes. Whether you're a dapper dresser, a trendsetter, or a connoisseur of classic elegance, Curated Styles is your ultimate source of elegant inspiration. Curated Styles, where every product, every accessory, every month is a testament to your fine taste. Choose elegance. Choose us. Curated Styles. Thank you, Curated Styles.
Alrighty. Yeah, shit, makes me want to order some shit. Curated
Styles. Link is in the description.
All right, yeah. Definitely hit that link. Go order some shit. It sounds fucking great. I'm gonna order some shit. I don't even know what the fuck's on there, but
you can see it.
I'm gonna order some
link
shit
right now.
Yeah, that was a good fucking ad, man.
I love it. Welcome back to part 2, Whiskey Wisdom. Now we're gonna jump into your questions. They're coming from the Ask Reddit. Kevin, would you do the honors of reading the first here?
Gladly. Let's see. This is from Reddit user table_usual. What used to be common sense?
Where do we start?
God damn.
Where do we start with this one?
I feel like common sense went out the fucking window like years ago.
Shoot. I mean, I feel like it's been within the last 5 to 10 years. Like, just like people are confused on what gender they are. People are confused on like just everything. Like,
that's God. That's the type of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why? Like, where did all this shit come from? You know what I mean? Because, you know, like you said, the gender and the gays, and nothing wrong with that. You know, people been gay since the fucking 30s. You know, 40s.
Since the beginning of time, basically.
Yeah,
it's in the Bible.
Even longer before that, yeah. But like to the point where we are now, where it's just like, accept it. You know, it's like, God, dude. It's like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, bro. Like,
yeah. I think everyone can agree. Well, I mean, maybe not everyone. There's probably extremists out there, but
yeah, we're probably gonna get a bunch of shit
for the most of it, like love who you want to love, do what you want to do. Like, none of us really care that much about your lives on what you're gonna do.
Right.
But when you're like forcing it down our throats, forcing it down, especially our kids who are susceptible to everything. That's where I have the problem with it.
Yeah.
Right. Like, yes, it's okay and it's needed to create an accepting environment for kids.
Right.
But it's not okay to push an agenda on them saying this is what you should be and this is normal.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's like, okay, you know, I don't even know where to start, where to end. But
I say fuck it. Like, I'm not really too worried about being politically correct.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, and this is kind of where it really pissed me the fuck off. A few years back, I think it was like 3 years ago. You know, well, you're her uncle, but she's scrolling through YouTube. You know, just watching YouTube videos, and every now and then, it would pop up a video with a guy, like, who had makeup on and shit, right? Mm-hmm. Had all this shit on. You know, and making some video for, like, kids and shit, right? Like, supposedly for kids. But you know it's a man, but he has, like, the girl makeup on the eyes and the shit and the lipstick and stuff. Bro, I caught her watching that. I took her fucking iPad away, and I threw that shit away in the trash. And, like, right now in my house, she's not allowed to watch YouTube. So you can watch cartoons. You know what cartoons I'm talking about? Like cartoons,
Oh,
the
yeah.
shit that I grew up with. You
Oh,
know what
yeah.
I mean? Like Cartoon Network, like the old, like
Boomerang. Everything on
Boomerang, like the
Boomerang.
whole Tom and Jerry ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like watch those cartoons because when I was a kid growing up, like that's the shit that I would like to wake up in the morning to and immediately go turn on the TV and watch cartoons.
Because it was just for entertainment. It was just for fun. It wasn't to push a message.
Right.
You know? Like that's what
Right.
entertainment needs to get back
Right.
to.
Yeah. So I removed all of that. Like
Yeah.
I can't. You know what I mean? And it's not like even that she was purposely trying to watch it. It's just that it's everywhere now, right? And if you say something against it or you speak up against it,
And it's not even against it. It's not against it. It's just drawing the line between pushing and accepting. Right? And I think that again it's a fine line. Like we need to accept and like just let people live their lives.
right?
But we don't want it pushed.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't come around me with that shit.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I think one thing too, like I've spent a good amount of time this year in Colombia.
Yeah.
And like obviously there's homosexual everywhere. Obviously, right? But down there it's not
It's frowned upon though.
I mean they're accepting of it, but they also don't like force you to accept it.
Yeah, they don't have gay
Like,
fucking
they'll-
flags waving around.
Yeah,
and shit,
no.
you know?
But it's just such a different cultural experience from one place to another. And like again, I'm all about acceptance. People are gonna live their lives and like what makes them happy makes them happy. Everyone's here to, you know, find their happiness. But don't fuck with the kids. It's my thing. I don't know.
I see, and this is kind of where the conversation gets tricky too, because for me, this whole thing that's happening, it's like a government agenda, you know, and we can go down the rabbit hole for fucking hours about this shit.
Anything that divides people is what the government's for.
Of course. And so it's just like, for me, it's like the best way, and you know, and my really, you know, Ben, right? I don't even know why I'm over here like talking about people like you don't know them. Well, our good friend Ben, he's doing it right. So he went and he got his certificate to be able to homeschool his kids. You know, for the known reason that it's like he knows sending his kids to school nowadays it's not safe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing that I talked to my girl about, and it's just like, you know, when we're ready to have our kids and stuff like that, like even with Kate right now, you know, we're in preparation to start homeschooling her because there's just so much that goes on. I mean, your kids are gone for the majority of the day.
Right.
You know, they're not
Absorbing
they're not with
everything.
you. And even if the teachers aren't maliciously doing it, there's still an agenda being pushed. It means that the school goes to them and tells them that, hey, you need to reach out to your kids and have these types of conversations with them. They're gonna have to do it because they're government workers.
Right.
They're 9 to 5. They're employees / slaves.
Yeah.
They have to fucking listen to their master, and that's the way that it works. All schools, especially public schools, they're all government based, man, and that's the way that shit works. So, but Ben, I mean, dude, that guy's doing it right, man.
Yep.
That guy's doing it right, and he's doing right by his kids and by his family. So,
Yeah.
shout out to my boy Ben. Keep it up, man. You're setting a good example for all of us.
Love it, love it. That was another thing too. When I was in Colombia, I was chatting with a guy who lived in New York for 8 years, and called it quits and moved back to Colombia a few years ago, like four or 5 years ago, and he has kids. So I was asking him like, what's the education system like down here? Like, are there public schools? Like, how does that all work? And he's like, yes, they're public schools, and like they teach the basics. But everyone who has any sort of like, not even wealth, but anyone who has like decent job is gonna have either private tutor or like private school for their kids.
Yeah.
And obviously down there it's much more affordable than it is here in the U.S.
Right.
And so that was just a huge draw too, like being in that community, because down in Colombia it's more of a community feel in the country than what we have here, and then being able to almost hand select the educator for your kids.
Yeah.
That's an amazing job.
No, dude, out there it's different, man. I mean, you know me, it's Colombia is where I'm from.
Yeah.
So like out there, it's like the culture is different. Number one.
Yeah.
Right. So like out there, like you know how the sayings like it takes a village to raise a child.
Absolutely.
Well, that's literally the way
Yeah.
it is over there. Like out there,
100%.
like everybody's best interest is for their whole community. You know, even though they're not like the richest country in the world and shit like that, right? Like, there's no place that you can go into Colombia, ask for help, and somebody won't help you. Like, they will help you. Like, that's just the way that we are as people, you know. And especially when it comes to the kids, education is a very important thing to Colombians, you know, which is a big reason why a lot of them, or a lot of us per se, come out here to seek that education or that new opportunity, right? But the majority of Colombians, and even all Hispanic people, right? And I think Trump even said it too. It's funny. But all the Hispanic Latino community, right? They're all very entrepreneurial. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're all about working for themselves, right? And providing the community with something like a service or a product of value. Yeah. Exactly, right? To the point where they're not over fucking charging, right? If all the petrol in the world was owned privately, you know what I mean? Just like by the people, you know, me being your neighbor or your neighbor here, right? Or whoever the fuck, let's say your neighbor owned a fucking Chevron and he got to decide the gas prices. Your neighbor isn't going to charge you $5 for fucking gas. You know what I mean? Like, and out there, that's how people are. Out there, they have their businesses and their houses where their businesses.
Yep.
And all the neighbors
Upstairs,
come around. For example, this family here, they focus on the chocolate, right? So they grow cacao, they grind it up, they do the sugar shit, they cook it, they make chocolate, they sell the chocolate, and they sell it at a reasonable price. These fucking Colombian cigars that I got you, that I brought you right now, I brought you 4. How much does a cigar here in the U.S. cost?
Good 10 to 20 plus.
10 to 20 plus.
Yeah.
Always, right? I got 50 cigars hand rolled, pure tobacco, pure, hand rolled. They were fucking rolling them when I walked by. Guess how much it was?
Oh, I know how much it was because you told me.
I forgot. Yeah. Dude, $4 fucking dollars, bro. $4 for 50.
Yeah.
You can't find it besides a fucking Swisher or a fucking Prime Time or a Black and Mild. You can't find a cigar for $4 fucking dollars over here. You know what I mean? And out there, they do that.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck? There's a huge fucking difference from being here and being over there.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like preferable to be over there. You know, it's like a preference to want to be over there just because you have a better time. You're actually around a community. You feel wholesome and welcome. And you just don't feel that here in the U.S. anymore, man.
Yeah.
It's not here.
Yep.
It's just gone, bro. Bon voyage.
Sayonara.
Adios, motherfuckers.
That is a fact. Alrighty, from Reddit user fun_impression_9238. What motivates you in life? Oh, also, once we finish reading it, wrap it up, toss it at the camera. If you hit the lens, other person has to take a sip.
Okay.
Ooh, close.
I'm pretty good at beer pongs.
Yeah, that's true. Ooh, all right. What motivates you in life?
What motivates me in life? Fuck, man, a lot of things, actually. Number one, myself, you know, and I know we've had this conversation before, but if I'm not good, my people aren't going to be good. You know what I mean? If I'm not good within myself, I can't be a good brother to Alex, right? To you. I'm talking in third person.
Sure.
If I'm not good, my girl's not going to be good. If I'm not good, my daughter's not going to be good. If I'm not good, my sister's not going to be good. My mom's not going to be good. So on and so forth, right? So number one is myself, right? Huge motivation is myself, the type of lifestyle I want to live, the type of people I want to have around me, the type of things that I want to do, and the goals that I have, right? But another big motivation is the people that I love that are with me, you know? And even before that, God, obviously, you know, at the end of the day, I do believe in God. I want to be a person or a human being per se that, you know, can lead by example and be in the eyes of people as like, that's a godly man right there, right? You know, like somebody who does things right, who has morals. Like you can look at me and you'll trust me, you know, like you'll know I'll do right by you and your loved ones as well. So that's a huge motivation for me. And then aside from all that, it's just seeing the happiness in the people that I love, man. You know, like selfishly, I like the way it makes me feel
Yeah.
by doing something good for the people that I love and care about. You know, but that's, I mean, that's a selfish and an unselfish thing. Because if what brings me joy is other people's joy, then it's not really that selfish.
Right.
You know, so that's one of my biggest motivations, you know, to be able to take my daughter to Knott's Berry Farm. She wanted to go to Disneyland, but I said, fuck that. And you know, Disneyland's pushing the fucking agenda. So I said, we ain't fucking going over there. We're fucking straight A conservatives, baby. We don't fucking do that shit. Like, fuck
man.
that shit. But, I mean, you know, being able to do these things, you know, providing opportunity for myself so I can also provide opportunity for them. Like, I just started Apex Detailing, you know, with my partner Nathan Hendricks, you know, and we're getting this thing going and rolling, and I'm glad that I have him. There's a lot of shit that's been going on, you know, it's business.
Yeah,
a bunch of shit's gonna pop up.
Yep.
But he's had my back, man. He's
Yeah.
had my back, and I've also had his back too. So just, you know, being able to help him in these areas makes me feel good. You know, like the other day he told me he was going on date night and stuff, and we had just spent a shit ton of money, you know, like a shit ton, bro. Like, there's so many expenses when it comes to having your own business. But, you know, that day we had done a job, and I told him, like, here, man, like, take part of this, you know, like, it's all right, just put it back, you know, towards the business whenever you can. But, dude, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, it's just one of those things, right? Like, to be able to help out the people and make sure that their loved ones are also taken care of, that's really, really what drives me.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see you good.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
and then another thing too, I don't know if you've noticed this, but legitimately being happy for people, like, because some people will say they're happy for you, right? It's like an automatic response because they feel that if they don't say that, their focus is, fuck, if I don't say this, then I'm gonna seem like I'm jealous or something.
What's
right?
a reflection?
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly. So, but for me, I'm legitimately happy for people's success. And honestly, if somebody is doing better for me or doing better than me, it just lights a fire in my ass to achieve that same level of success. Right. You know, not that I'm mad that they're doing better than me, right? But it helps me to push even harder, right?
And surrounding yourself with people that are like that.
Right.
That's the key, because then you're always, you know, quote unquote, one-upping each other, but you're also celebrating each other's success to make sure at the end of the day everyone's winning. You know,
right?
And so
that's
the key.
Yeah, it's and you hear it all the time, man. Like you know, and it's sad to say, but sometimes it's your own family members that wish bad upon you.
Yep.
You know, so it's just like they'll say like, "Oh, congratulations," but in the shadows they're like scheming and like wishing bad upon you. You know, but for me, I am like when you told me that you were doing all this shit, right? When you told me that you're starting your business and doing this and doing that, like, what did I tell you? I didn't even say I'm happy for you. I said I'm fucking proud of you, bro. Like, I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of everything that you're achieving right now. You know, and that's true. Coming from the heart, I am. Like, everything that you've done and you've accomplished, to where, you know, where we were to where we are right now and how I see you, I'm legitimately proud of that. You know what I mean? Like, as you being my brother, I'm proud of you, man. And that's one of the things it's very hard to find, right? But that's another thing that motivates me too, because if I can't be that person for the people that I care about, right? If I can't be like that within myself, I'm not going to bring them any good either. If I'm a malicious person who has animosity and negativity instilled within me, and all I want to do is say, yeah, you know, I'm happy for you, but really in my mind, I'm like, fuck you, you know, or like, oh, you're doing better than me, fuck you, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, fuck that, bro. Like, I don't want to live like that. Like, so it doesn't matter who you are. You know, it could be you or a random person on the street. You know, if a homeless guy comes up to me, he's like, I earned $150 today, and that day I get 0 sales, I'm gonna be like, fucking congratulations, man. Congratulations, man. I'm not gonna be like, motherfucker, the homeless man got more fucking money than me. You know, I'm like, dude, fuck yeah, man, I'm happy for you, and that's gonna light a fire in my ass because I'm like, dude, if the homeless guy can fucking do it, why the fuck can I fucking do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the way that shit should be. So those are like some of the few things that really like just kind of motivate me. You know,
Yeah.
like that's where my motivation comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. There's just no other way to really say it, man. It's just straightforward and blunt. Like that's
Yeah.
what it is. Like,
I like it.
yeah.
I think for me, what motivates me is right now at this stage of life that I'm in is preparation for a legacy that I want to leave, right?
Elaborate.
So when I say preparation for a legacy, I want to be in a place where when I eventually I do find the right woman for me, and I want to start raising a family, everything is smooth, right? They've got, if they want to be further educated, the college funds are in place. If, they want to travel, if they want to see different places of the world, I want to be the one to be able to provide that to take them there.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So putting myself in a position, both in career and everything else, where I have the flexibility of my day, and I have the financial flexibility to be able to provide that.
Yeah.
Like more of like a peace of mind for the family. I want to be the first one in my family to be able to provide that. So I think that's maybe part of why I've put off really trying to find the right one, because I don't feel like I'm quite in the place to be able to provide that immediately.
Yeah.
And over the last, year or so, I've been kind of thinking that back a little bit, because at the end of the day, when you find the right one, they're going to build with you. They're not necessarily going to come into your life when you've already made it, because at that point, are you really going to trust them? Probably not, because then why are they with you? But if they can be part of your rise, and they build with you from where you're at now to where you want to be, that's something special. So that's something that I've been kind of mulling over, back and forth.
Can I say a contradicting argument towards that?
Of course.
What if what you're missing to accomplish that is that partner?
Yeah.
So, and what I mean by that is because a big misconception that you can do too is say that you're waiting for the right person to show up, but there is no right person for us, right? Until we actually get to know that person.
Yeah.
So let's say that you establish all of this, right? You have millions in the bank, you can do a bunch of shit, right? But the right person for you at the time is somebody that's not worried about money, just wants somebody to love, right? And what you're trying to provide them is something that they don't care about. Then what?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I think, and I love these stories. I see the videos all the time, like they're like the guy would be posting the videos, like the one who was with me throughout it all, right? She's the one that deserves everything, right? So to me, that's kind of how I want my story to be, in the sense that, Edith has been riding with me since, day one, right? So, for me to accomplish these great things and then finally make it, I want her to be a part of that thing that we build, instead of the thing that I just build, but then I'm trying to give you.
Yeah. I
You
feel
know?
that.
So it's like you also have to like take that into consideration, because if you're kind of like if you're half-assing looking to build a relationship with a woman just because you want to get to this point first, maybe what's missing is having that woman to push you that extra level to where you need to be. And so, and that's the value that women bring to us in our lives, man. They push us to achieve greater and higher things, and that's how it should be. You know what I mean? Because if my woman gives me what I need, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe one day I'm like pissed
Sure.
or something, or I had a bad fucking day. You know what I mean? She could be the one that makes me see a different perspective from what had happened, and use that as an opportunity. And so us as men, we're very prideful.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it's like we may dispose or remove ourselves from a possible opportunity because we're blinded by the anger, or we're blinded by whatever the fuck's going on, right? Or maybe we're unhappy within ourselves. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Just kind of think about that, like if I say, this is my personal opinion, I'm going to say whatever the fuck you want. But if I were you, if the moment comes and the opportunity presents itself Give it your all.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
it's not like you haven't had your heart broken before. It's not like a woman has let you down before. But this time, it's like you said earlier, what can you control? This is what you can control because it's so new. It's so new. And you can control this, not saying that you're controlling her, but saying that you can control the outcome of this.
Yeah.
And how everything turns out.
And my effort going into it.
Exactly. Yeah. So just kind of,
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, I feel that.
Because I mean, dude, it could be 30 years down the road. You could have millions in the bank, and nobody's gonna want to be with you. Nobody's gonna want to love you. You know.
Yeah.
Like people want to get to know the real you. Because I mean, even famous people get it all the time. They get the bitches that want to fuck, right? But at the end of the day, they just want it for something.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you seen videos of Dan Bilzerian lately?
I haven't.
Dude looks sad.
Really?
Dude looks like it looks like his endorphins have just been removed from his brain. And like he'll be surrounded by a bus full of wenches. And like there's nothing there. And I'm obviously not on his level, right? But I can, to a certain extent, like over this last year, sort of feel where he's been. There's been instances where I've been in a club or strip club or something like that where like crazy shit is happening. Like shit that people, like probably 95% of the planet will never experience.
Never live,
And I'm sitting there, and then all of a sudden, like no matter how much liquor, whatever's in my system, I'll be sitting there, and I'll have a moment of clarity of like, what the fuck is the point of all this? You know what I mean? And like this isn't building towards a legacy for me. This isn't building anything better. It's not doing. It's just entertaining me for the moment. But when you do that so often,
it's not even
it loses its luster, you know. Yeah. And so like I say, if you watch like maybe the last year or two's worth of anything Dan Bilzerian has put out, like I think he's kind of going into that mindset as well of like loneliness almost. I feel like
it's too routine, man.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Nothing's new.
And I've told this to my girl too. It's like I'm a guy.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, like I'm a man. You know what I mean? Like this is how I am. But like at some point, I'm gonna get bored. I'm not saying that I'm gonna get bored of her. I'm just saying I'm gonna get bored of the same old routine.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like the same old routine. I don't want us to do the same shit all the time.
Take a different trip. It like do something out of the ordinary with the same.
It loses its value. It's like, why do you think salespeople get so complacent? Because
same product after a while.
You come in, what? You get the job. You land the job. You're what? Excited. Yeah. So that excitement fuels you for the next 6 months. You're excited. You kill it, right? You're getting recognition, right? You're getting people, oh, this guy just kicked ass. He did a bunch of sales yesterday, or so on and so forth, right? And you get that month in and month out. It even happened to me recently, right? Like I went my whole year. Remember, I was sending you photos of damn, bro. Like look at my team.
Yeah.
Where they're at, and then look at me. 7 fucking sales, right? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, and now I got to a point where I stopped caring about it. Almost to the point where like my boss even like started giving me shit for, you know, not producing how I was producing before. And it's because in my mind, that level of excitement or likability to it, or, you know, like the fame that you get from it, like it just kind of died out for me. You know what I mean? I already got it so much, you know, and he'll say some shit, and he's right. You know what I mean? Like, but my response would be something like, okay, so my first month, but I mean, look at my last year.
Yeah.
You know, who the fuck are you? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still good. I still meet my numbers and my quota and shit. I'm a salesperson, right? But like, doing the quota and then superseding the quota is 2 very different things.
Right. Yeah.
And so when that dies out, it's because you get it so much, and that's called complacency, right? And you get complacent with that lifestyle that you live. So when you're sitting there at the club, crazy shit's going on, and you realize that most people will give their left nut to fucking live that type of lifestyle, which you and I have both been there. We have lived that lifestyle. I mean, sometimes we still do, but it's less important to us now. Even the other day, I think we were celebrating your birthday, and it was just me and you. We're out downtown. Let's go out, and all we wanted to do was go home and spend time with family.
Yeah, then that's what we did.
And that's what we did. I was, we were walking, and then like
Both
you didn't say
we-
nothing, I didn't say nothing, but the same shit was on our mind. And then we look over to each other like,
Fuck this.
you just want to go?
Yeah.
Like, let's just go.
And it was one of the best birthdays in a while, just because
Straight up, bro.
just chilling.
Oh my god, it was fucking awesome. And the fact that we made that decision to do that just kind of shows you that like this is like false shit. The party lifestyle, go out and do a shit ton of drugs and supposedly have a good time and ended up at this.
It gives you zero fulfillment at the end of the day.
It's false.
It's all temporary.
It's false idling, bro. It's literally what it is. It gives you a perspective of like riches and wealth, but at the end of the day, 98% of the people that even try to do that will spend the last penny in their bank account just to be a part of that, that one moment. How many videos and how many memes you see of people that like, oh, went out Friday night and the next day look at my bank account and like, if it's like that. If it's like that to where it breaks your bank, stop, bro. Yeah. It's really not that big of a hype. It's not. You could have. What do you think I do for my birthdays now? I only invite people that I care about for my birthday.
It's a distraction from responsibility, and
Absolutely.
I feel like that's a culture that here in the U.S. is fostered. Don't take responsibility for any actions. Don't take responsibility for anything. Put it off. It'll catch up eventually. You'll be able to handle it eventually. Yeah. Well, no, absolutely not. Don't. You have to take responsibility for yourself, for your own actions, and for how you feel. Right? Take responsibility for how your brain works. Yep. Again, we were talking about anxiety earlier. Take responsibility for overcoming that. Right? And like that's something that we don't do here anymore, and it's not encouraged anymore. It's encouraged to be tolerant of everything, which is bullshit.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, man. It's such a wild thing. Like, and it's like, I get it. Like the guy. Let's say like, I had a younger brother.
Yeah.
Right. Or like, oh, I'll give you a perfect example. My younger sisters. My younger sister. She's 22 now. When she turned 21. I took her out for that experience because she's never lived that experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You deserve to know that.
Mm-hmm.
But even she knows that it's not the hype.
Right.
Because me, if I'm the event and I'm in the right type of setting where I'm where it's like that type of party mode type shit, I party.
Yeah.
I drink and everything like that. But the next day I'm still me. So I still have shit to do. You know what I'm saying? But my sister, same thing. So she never really, party like that or anything like that, and they have an older brother. What I did was I convinced my mom, while they were still living with her, to allow them to drink. Because there's a truth to this, right? Mm-hmm. But there's also not a truth to this. Okay? So, and
I'm all ears.
I'll explain it. So, the truth is, when I told my mom, hey, let them drink, because if we don't let them and let them experience that, they're gonna go do it somewhere else.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be the one that's picking them up at 3 a.m. because they're fucked.
Or they're scared to call.
My mom was like, all right, fine. That first night when we drank, bro, I had a bottle of whiskey, a bottle of vodka, we had wine, we had beer, we had everything. My sisters were all about it. They want to drink. They got fucked up, bro. They got fucked up, bro. They despise drinking right now. They don't like to drink. They don't want to drink. The other side of that, though, what I was explaining that is not true, is it doesn't work for everybody. Okay, so I took a gamble within my family to make that decision. What could have happened was, let's say they got fucked up, overcame their hangover and then ended up liking drinking a shit ton. I could have just created a bunch of alcoholics.
But the difference, though, you can cut it off at that point earlier because they don't have the finances, they don't have the income to be able to provide for that enough. True. So then you can start putting in the seeds of wisdom of how to not be reliant on that to have a good time. Yeah. And again, I think that goes back to like in countries that have a lower drinking age. Yeah. They have much fewer degenerates than the U.S. does. Yeah. Like Canada, everywhere in Europe, 16 years old, you can have a glass of wine.
Because people want what they can't have. Yeah. Exactly.
But here's the thing. In the U.S., it's so late that then by the time that they are able to, it's so irresponsible because they just want to catch up for the 6 years they lost, you know? So, and there's no regulation at all. So I'm 100%. And
I think that's kind of what helped me
because responsibly teaching our children how to regulate and how to handle it. Yeah. At 16, 17, 18. That's key because then they'll respect what it can do. They'll respect like the downsides of it. Yeah. Before they ever get there.
Yep, exactly. And that's kind of what helped me. Like you said, people it will become unresponsible because they're trying to catch up for all the years that they missed, right? Yeah. Like the nerdy guy who did school, but then now he wants to party, right? I mean, I'm not saying you're a nerdy guy or anything, but look at you. You're like the prime example of what had happened.
That's hilarious. That's true.
So for those of you guys that don't know, when I met Alex
AMFT.
AMFT.
There we go.
When I met Alex, my brother, he was the type of person that he didn't like to party, and he was young too. I think the fucker was like 19. Didn't like to party. I'd tell him, "Yo, let's go get bitches. Let's go to the strip club. Let's go do this." He didn't want to. He didn't want to do none of that. And it's a respectable fact because he would always tell me, like, I'm not gonna have sex with the girl unless I love her. And that now I respect it. Younger me, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Now I'm like, dude, like that is, if you were telling me that at the age of 19, like that is some fucking, that you got balls right there. For you to stand up for what you believe in, respectable, 100%. But my boy Alex fell into the, now I need to play catch up, right? Yeah. Got his heart broken, you women, you fuck us over, like you break our hearts. Yeah, that's what you do. But my boy Alex got hurt, and then he started partying. Started going out, started doing this. I swear to God, I was running a business down in Ohio. I come back, when somebody tells me that my friend Alex, right, and there's a lot of Alexes in this world, when my friend Alex was just out at the club the other night, dancing with two bitches, popping bottles in VIP, he was not the first one I thought about, okay? That's what I'm saying. You were not the first one that I thought about. I was like, Alex who? And they're like, Alex. I'm like, the first words that came out, I'm like, no fucking way. No, that's not him. That's not what he does, right? But there is a truth to that because now you didn't have that experience of like responsible drinking or living that a small part of that type of lifestyle.
Funny thing is, when that happened, I had just turned 21.
Damn. Motherfucker went all out.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's again why, like, looking back on hindsight's 2020, that's why you 100% need to bring that up responsibly in your household before it's let loose. Because you don't want too many of me running around. Too many of me in the world is not a good thing. All right, we're only 2 questions deep. We're like 30 minutes.
Well, you need hold on. He said too many of him. You can't have too many of you by yourself running around. So you guys know the yin and the yang, right? There's got to be a yin to the yang. So he's the yang, I'm the yin, right? So him running around, right, at the age of 21 trying to fucking party, he has the yin, right, which is your boy, and this fucker gets drunk in fucking West Side Glendale, and he has somebody to pick him up. Now, let's say he didn't have the yin, and it's only the yang. The yang's gonna fucking die. That motherfucker's by himself. That nigga's gonna die. That dude is dead. Like, he's gonna commit some shit. Like, you're fucked. You're fucked. You know what I mean? So yes, per se, we don't want a lot of you running around. But if there's somebody to suppress that, that's what you need, man. And honestly, for the guys out there, man, find yourselves a brother. Find somebody that, whether it's a cousin or your actual brother or a really close friend that you see as a brother, find that, dude. It's like, you can't have like, your life will be so much better with that in your pocket.
Facts.
100%. I don't regret anything. I have about 5 friends. I am 29 years old. I have 5 people in my life that have brought more value to me in the last 5 years than I have lived in my entire life.
I feel that.
And I'll take that. So find that. But you, motherfucker, you're a crazy motherfucker, bro. You're a crazy motherfucker. And I love that. And I like to think that a little part of that was me.
Yeah, I mean, you were there. You were there at the beginning. You were there at the beginning. All right, let's do this. So we've already hit the 40-minute mark, actually. Let's do this. Let's try and do 2 more apiece. Okay. But let's try and keep the responses 2 minutes or less. Okay. Better clips for the IG. Turn? Yeah.
All right, let me pull this shit. From Reddit user Bear Investigator 7777. As a man, what's the one thing stopping you from opening up?
Oh shit!
Man.
Damn, we could go for a minute on this. We're trying to keep this a quick round.
We're trying to keep these short, guys.
All right. What's keeping us from opening up from what? All right.
Yeah.
So
as a man, what's the one thing stopping you from opening up?
All right. So one, opening up to who is the question. If we're opening up to women, you gotta be careful, because you can quickly lose respect from women if you open up too much.
Not even that.
But here's the thing.
Don't do that.
But here's the thing. Exactly. But here's the thing. You need to be more comfortable opening up to your inner circle of men, right? Because that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for, is to support.
But you said inner circle
of men.
Men.
And that's all it should be.
That's important.
That's all it should be. Because at the end of the day, us as men, we're responsible for being the foundation of relationships, being the foundation for our wives, for our kids. Like, that is our sole responsibility, is to be the stronghold.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna be too emotional, that's a crack in the foundation. There are times where it's acceptable, 100%, but only when it's most impactful. But you do need a support system around you. There's no good foundation without the earth beneath you. Find your earth. Find your people who are going to support you up and who are going to, have your back regardless, who are going to tell you the truth, who are going to tell you the painful things that you don't want to hear. That's what you need. That's what you need.
I agree 100% with you on that. I don't have a hard time opening up, but I have a hard time opening up to certain people, right? So, for example, like, my woman, if I have a problem, I don't open up to certain things, right? Unless it's something that I know I can't fix, or something that's out of my control. Sure. Because now it's beyond that. Now, because I know I can't control it, I need spiritual cureness. I need to be okay mentally, right? To try to find a solution for this. My girl's not going to give me the solution for it. Shit, maybe sometimes she will for other things. But if it's something like that, right? Something that, like, keeps you awake at night, I can't open up about that shit, right? To your point, yes, your brothers, your inner circle of men, that's the people that you open up with. If you're a woman, women always open up to other women, right? It's their circle. It's where they feel.
But find your foundation and trust in the right man. Because, again, you need a balance of both.
Of course. But here's the thing. If let's say you're the guy and it's your girl, and your girl is venting about some shit, right? Sure. Her girls. Yeah. It should be so well established to the point that what she's venting about is just girl problems. That's it. That's it. Just girl problems. My nail fell off today, or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's what the venting should be about. Sure. If she's over here contemplating conversations about fucking finances and life decisions, you're failing as a man.
Yeah.
You're fucking up as a man.
If she's going to her chicks for financial advice and she doesn't trust you to like handle
Absolutely.
that, go take a financial education class
That's what
and
the fault
fucking
is.
figure
And you
it
know
out.
what? I appreciate the women because sometimes there's some shit that my woman tells me that I honestly don't really care to hear. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not nothing against her or anything like that. It's like, it just depends on the moment where you catch me. But for us men need to have a very close group of men because only men understand each other.
100%.
And I agree with that 100%.
Facts. All right. From Reddit user Lexicon7, what it isn't as bad as it seems.
Damn. That can go a lot of ways.
What was the first thing that came to your mind?
Shit. I can't say it.
We can blur it out.
No.
What isn't as bad as it seems?
Yeah, it shouldn't be said. You should probably blur this part out. I'm not gonna say it either, but I'm just saying like just this little area part. Anyways, what is it as bad as it seems? Life.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Life. A lot of people think that like life's attacking them, man. Dude, life's good. Like,
yeah, you have to see other shit to really understand.
And here's the only difference: if you're over here living your life, but you're comparing yourself to the multi-billionaire who's on a yacht, your life's gonna suck because you don't have that yet. And it's not that you can't earn that.
Right.
It's just that you don't have that yet.
Right.
But when you focus on you and all the things that you've accomplished, there could be a billionaire out there right now who has never had a good woman by his side.
Yep.
And you have that, dude, life is great.
Your life is richer than theirs.
Be grateful for what you have. There could be a multi-billionaire out there right now who can't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they want. And not even the amount of billions of dollars they have can make them have their own kids. Because their shit don't work.
Yeah.
Your life is not as bad as it seems. Yeah. When you have a bad day at work, someone is mean to you, shit doesn't go the way you want it to go, expenses come up out of nowhere, just know that your life is not that bad. Life is good.
But I think that's really all that needs to be said, man. Like, I can't agree more. Like,
hell yeah,
after
dude.
seeing some shit, like being out of the country, like seeing the way people live in other situations, like you really have to take a second and like just take in the life that you're living and understand how fucking blessed you are. You know?
Hell yeah, bro. You know how many people haven't even been to Colombia?
Yeah. And maybe never will.
Never will. Exactly. So it's like you can't live your life comparing yourself to somebody else, man. You gotta live your life.
And that's what's happened with Instagram, all this social media.
Yeah.
It's become such a comparison game.
Bro. And that's the thing. Everybody thinks that they have to become a millionaire. Bro, I've met many very happy people who live okay.
Literally, again,
well off. And they're happy, bro. They get old and they have no regrets.
Yeah.
None. Zip. They die without thinking, fuck.
I've seen the poorest, happiest people in Colombia.
Yeah.
Because they don't fuck around with social media like we do up here. Like, they have it, obviously, but it doesn't control their life. It doesn't control their comparison. It doesn't control their value of life. What controls their value of life is who's around them and all that.
Life's a blessing, dude. I mean, that's just the way you got to see it, man. Like, you can't...
We're taking the speed round pretty slow.
Yeah, fuck it, man.
Fuck it. It's a good conversation, man.
This will be an extra long podcast. All right, Reddit user, the tired ducking. Okay. How do you navigate the thin line between ego and self-respect?
Ooh. Oh, whoa. That's tough one. Okay. Ego and self-respect.
Self-respect, your own personal self-respect has to do with your own personal tolerance of things. Meaning, see, if a woman comes up to me and tries to hit on me when she knows that I'm with my woman, that is disrespect. That is disrespect to me, and you're also disrespecting my woman.
Yeah.
Now, not all guys see it like that. Some guys may find it flattering that a woman wants to get with them, knowing damn well that they have a woman. You know what I mean? So, self-respect has to do with whatever you tolerate for yourself. That's what it is. If somebody, for me, my self-respect is you don't disrespect me. If you talk to me, you talk to me with respect, because I don't give you anything less. You don't tell me fuck you. You don't call me you don't call me dude or way or nigga or this or that. No, it's yes sir or yes bro. Right? If we're close, like that's the way that we talk. Right? That's the type of level of self-respect I have for myself. Right? But I also have the self-respect where I won't do things that compromises my self-respect, which means I won't put myself in situations which pretty much tests my moral values per se. You know what I mean? Because that has to do with your self-respect too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's people out there that, you know, will have intercourse with a girl who's drunk. You know what I mean? And then their level of tolerance is they'll accept that, right? See, for me, I don't accept that, right? Like, I don't need a wench to be drunk for her to sleep with me, right? I will make sure you get home. The next day, I'll hit you up, and you're still going to fuck me, but I need to make sure that you're sober, and I need to make sure that you're coherent. Mm-hmm. That's the type of level of self-respect that I have. So self-respect has to do with yourself. Ego is a good and a bad thing, too. Ego is like, I'm the fucking best. Honestly, you should believe that. If you believe that you're the fucking best, believe that, right? People are going to say, oh, you have a big ego. Oh, that's your fucking ego talking. I'm the fuck. That's what I believe. I believe I'm the fucking best. You put me in sales, I'm the fucking best. Mm-hmm. You put me in running a business, I'm the fucking best, right? Whatever the fuck, being a dad, I'm the fucking best, right? That's honestly what I believe in. That's my fucking ego.
Yeah.
So that's what I believe in. Now, the controversy to ego is, you the baddest motherfucker alive? No, you're not.
Yeah.
Like, calm down.
So here's my differentiating of the two, right? So self-respect, I think, comes to what you find your foundation in, what your pillars are, right?
You go back to the foundation.
Foundation, right?
Okay.
So, and if anyone impedes on that foundation of your morals, of what you respect, love, and care about, that's self-respect.
Okay.
To me, ego, it goes more to caring what other people think about you. Because your ego is something that you build up as a facade. But at the end of the day, if your pillars are strong enough, it's not a fucking facade. It's not. It's a goddamn Coliseum. You know what I mean? So if your fucking self-respect is built up that far, you will have the right people around you. Who gives a fuck about your ego?
Yeah.
They will build your ego up for you, but that's not what you're about. That should never be your concern. Your ego is for people who think that they need to get validation from someone else.
Do you think that your ego should be internal?
Of course.
Completely and 100% internal?
Of course.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that too.
For me, like, again, it comes down to self-respect should be your pillars of life and your morals and what you bind your legacy to. Well, your ego is going to be, again, you can define it however the fuck you want. The way I define it is your ego is what other people perceive of you. And if you're more concerned about your ego than your morals, then you're fucked.
I'll give you the perfect example. And I know we've done it too. We've been at fault. We're humans. We make mistakes. But the perfect example was when I first started dating Edith. We had gone out to Old Town. There was a guy, I don't know how the fuck he was a part of it, but somehow he was a part of our group. And the guy wanted to take Edith home. And his response to her was, I make 6 figures a year. Come home with me. And her response was like, so does my boyfriend, so I don't care.
6 figures these days isn't shit, dude.
It's not shit. But that's ego. Yes or no?
Yeah.
That's 100% ego.
Yeah.
So that's what you should steer away from.
Yeah.
That is a perfect example of what to steer away from. Because at the end of the day, even if I didn't make 6 figures, I'm more of a man than that guy was.
100%.
100%. And that when that chick, even if she doesn't choose me, somebody else will. Some other woman will, right? And that's the way that it works. So ego, try to steer away from ego, but self-respect is all about what you tolerate.
Yeah.
So whatever you don't tolerate is what's not gonna, determine the you passing that line of self-respect.
100%.
So
100%.
yeah,
I love it. Well, again, thank you, Kevin, for coming on the show.
brother. Yeah.
Whiskey Wisdom. Again, like, comment, and subscribe.
Follow
Throw
the
any
page.
questions you have. You want us to debate it, we'll fucking get drunk. We'll talk about it, and we'll give you the best advice we know.
Also follow _Apex Detailing Instagram. We detail vehicles, RVs, planes, food trucks. I mean, fuck, you name it. We fucking do the whole thing.